me? Oh my. Oh, stop it. Stop it, Ice. You're so wicked. Oh, stop it. I said no.
Alicia, what's going on in there?
Shh. It's my father. Nothing, Daddy.
Open this door at once!
But, Daddy, I'm changing.
I'm coming in!
You have to go.
But I've just got my boots off.
Don't get cheeky now. Seriously. My father will kill. Daddy.
Alicia!
Daddy, no.
Why, you devil! I'll kill you!
That wasn't my fault. She tricked me.
I'll trick you, devil!
Oh, I'm out of here.
If I ever get my hands on you...
Hello, sir. How are you this evening?
Exhausted, friend. Tell me, where are you going?
Oh, I'm off across the mountains. How about you?
The same. Mind if I tag along?
Not at all. We can sing songs together.
Great. Sounds good to me.
Well, here you go. Is this okay?
Yes, this is fine. Thank you. For your trouble.
Why, thank you, sir. Well, I'm off. Heading north to the castle. Maybe I'll see you again sometime.
You just may. Farewell, sir.
Hello, my friend. Welcome. Welcome to the town of Vauxville. I trust your travels were not too unpleasant?
Just fine, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. My name is Udo. I am a seller of rare and precious trinkets, as well as a great source of news for the town and all across the valley.
You mean you're a gossip?
Call me what you may, as long as you call me friend.
We'll see.
Ah, cautious. I like that. Please come and see me anytime you need anything.
You try with all your might, but the sign reads Vauxville. It looks like it was carved a long time ago and could use some cleaning up. You stare intently at the grass. It's so green, man. You could get lost in it, man. Give up this life of moral turpitude. Join up with a couple of other guys, play some instruments, and travel across the land playing mandolin. Then you shake yourself out of it and realize that you are grateful that you aren't dead. It's a small, dark cluster of rocks. You could smash something on them, you suppose, but they're mainly there just for decoration. Please enter a longer name.
Hey there, Udo.
Well, hello there, friend. How can I help you today? Ah, the People's Village. You'll not find a finer nor friendlier town around these parts. Everything's kept shipshape around here by old Rayford. He likes to keep things nice and orderly. And for your amusement, there's plenty of shops and sights to see. You can check out the inn or maybe visit the general store. There's a tobacconist for all your exotic smoking and spice needs. Oh, and don't forget the magic shop. We've also got an apothecary, and there's an old graveyard on the edge of town. He's a tough old SOB, that's for sure. He's been the magistrate around these parts for the last 30 years or so. I'd say the town's so well kept because of him, he likes to stay in the good graces of the king. He's a pleasant enough fella, but don't let that fool you, because he doesn't suffer fools or troublemakers one bit. He'll crack your skull if you give him an excuse to. The inn is on the east part of town. It's a big old place. I think it was a giant meat hall in its former life. But over the years, it just settled into being an inn. You can get a reasonable room and some decent food there. The innkeeper's name is Kessel. Tell him Udo sent you. You'll get the Udo discount. It's right in the center of town, next to the tobacco shop. You know, it's no frills. What you see is what you get. But what you get isn't always what you see, eh? No doubt it has the kinds of supplies you need to get about in the valley. The proprietor is Owen. He and his wife are usually in there running the place together. Honestly, I don't know her name. I always call her Mrs. Owen. Let me tell you, that Prospero is definitely one of those enigmatic characters. He's got a big, creepy house toward the south of town. The gargoyles out front give me the heebie-jeebies. But his knowledge and products are second to none. Yeah, we've got a guy who fancies himself some kind of medical scientist. He's got all kinds of salves, potions, and poultices. Jared Smyrna, pharmacist, runs the place. Well, you're in the Valley of Krasna right now. We're part of the Kingdom of Lunaria. Yeah, it's a little old graveyard. Kind of quaint and peaceful, actually. The graves there are really old, as it was the first place they started burying people when they started the town. I guess they realized they could only fit so many bodies in there, so there's another, larger cemetery outside of town. Now that place is a sight to see. There's a lot of tombstones, but the mausoleums are crazy. Plus, the old caretaker's mansion is out there. No one's lived there for a few years, and I think most of the transients around stay there. I hope you don't have to stay there, mister. Well, honestly, it's a vast realm. The castle of the king is to the north a ways, but it's been difficult to travel up there since the spring flooding washed out the main bridge over the river Silmowin. It's the Great River. It not only runs through our land, but almost the whole continent. It's called List. It's a lovely place, actually. Very beautiful. And the king treats his subjects well. He's a tough old SOB, that's for sure. He's been the magistrate around these parts for the last 30 years or so. I'd say the town's so well kept because of him, he likes to stay in the good graces of the king. He's a pleasant enough fella, but don't let that fool you, because he doesn't suffer fools or troublemakers one bit. He'll crack your skull if you give him an excuse to.
This young man is vigorously hammering away at a pair of horseshoes. He looks like a decent chap.
Good day, sir.
Hello there.
My name is Niels. I'm the assistant and farrier to the blacksmith. I'm preparing shoes for the horses. It's quite lovely, thank you. Yes, there's an execution taking place soon. I want to finish these shoes before I head down. They take me where I need to go. I made the chair myself. It's a pretty quiet town, never much trouble. Except for Gorth, he's always causing trouble. Surprised Rayford hasn't beaten him senseless yet. He's the local sheriff. He's a tough man, but he's always decent to me. Take care, stranger.
The door is locked. It's the sigil for the sheriff's office. If you're lucky and smart, you won't spend too much time in there. The ground is compacted, rock hard, obviously from heavy use by the townsfolk. Around the edges of buildings and walls, sparse amounts of grass grows where people don't walk often. It's filled with various rocks and such now. It makes a nice decoration in front of the store. You bet vagrants piss in it. You touch the cold stone of the exterior. You think you feel something, a connection to all living things. And then it's gone. And life sucks again. And you're standing outside the store, touching it. You touch the cold stone of the You, like a vagrant, decide. Well, it's no market of Wall, but you suppose they have the kinds of supplies that could help you survive here? It's a ladder. You walk up it, then down it. Versatile. You peer along the massively stocked shelves of the store. You spy several interesting items. Kellogg's corn-flavoured strips to stop that horny feeling. You peer along the massively stocked shelves of the store. These large barrels hold lard. Lots and lots of lard. Like your ex-girlfriend. This section of the store is given over to meat products of all descriptions. You can see beef, pork and lamb. Is that turtle? It's a cat. Should I explain further or just direct you to Reddit? This is the general store. You see shelves stacked to overflowing with goods that would be used in everyday life. You peer along the massively stocked shelves of super... This is the general store.
Hello, young master. Welcome to the Owens General Store and Meat Emporium.
Butcher shop. Meat Emporium sounds like a whorehouse.
Oh, you'd know a whorehouse, wouldn't you?
Maybe. I found you in one.
You were the chamber pot boy.
You were the chamber pot.
I love you, dear.
Love you too, honey bunny.
Wow, this is lovely.
Hey, you tried running a store with your significant other. You have to do something to keep yourself from going nuts.
Understood.
Well, we're just about to close up to go to the execution. So if you need something, just stop on back afterwards, okay, honey?
Will do. You too. Stay pleasant.
Are you kidding? Her husband has a cleaver and she looks like she could crush your lungs. He looks like he'd be down for a tickle fight, but you'll leave that to Gwen. They said to come back later. You should probably leave them alone for now. This barrel once held some top-quality tobacco leaf. You can smell it. Now it's just a decoration. I bet, though, if you burn the barrel, it would smell great. You aren't crazy. Try talking to someone else.
Good afternoon, fair trader of smoked goods.
Aha, good afternoon, young master. How are you?
Better now that I know this place is here.
Ah, thank you. I am Armand, purveyor of the finest tobacco and smokable leaf in all the lands.
You can call me Rowan.
And indeed I will, Mr. Rohan. Be assured, every item in here is of the finest quality. I have selected my imports by hand, and any purchase you make shall be a wonderful delight for you to enjoy in your leisure time.
I'm a big fan of leisure time.
Here, try a bit of these.
That is delightful.
Ah yes, imported Kenmati leaf from the realm of Anengoti, the finest. I must close up for a moment before the execution, but please stop by again and we can discuss the finer things I have to offer.
Sounds excellent. See you soon.
Everything in here is amazing. Sir, I highly recommend the Sir Dave's of Romerio blend.
My word! There are smokable plants and tobacco from all over the world in here. Armand does at least have taste when it comes to importing smokable leaf. This is ornately carved out of foreign wood. You really feel the urge to urinate on it. There's a little cupboard on the wall. You're inside Armand's tobacco shop. The aroma in here is enchanting. Many dried leaves hang, and the wood in here is beautifully carved. You should come back after the execution to talk to him more. This is ornately carved out of foreign wood. You really feel the urge to urinate on it. Armand has 2 paintings hanging in his shop. On closer inspection, the plaques underneath them say Chong and the other says Cheech. You're inside Armand's tobacco shop. The aroma in here is enchanting. Many dried leaves hang, and the wood in here is beautifully carved. You have nothing to say. This plant isn't for smoking, it's for admiring. What a waste. Kill, pillage. The Jolly Rogering. That sounds like a slamming good time. They look like typical muscle-bound lackeys. They're pretty good drinkers, though. Whoa, that's a big boy right there. He looks like he could eat a stag and then ask for seconds. He just kind of eyeballs you for a bit, and you decide he's not ready to converse. You think the bartender looks much more inviting. He ignores you. Perhaps you should talk to the man on the other side of the table. He ignores you. He seems preoccupied with drinking and talking to his friends at the moment.
So I says to him, I says, look, you can't be building a house out of that.
Now, why can't he build a house from mud and sod?
I'll get to that, you interrupting bastard. Now, where was I?
You can't build a house.
So I says to him, Robert, you can't use that. And he says, why not? It's my mud and I'll do what I see fit. And I says, Robert, that ain't mud. And he says, course it's mud, it's brown and muddy. And I says, yeah, but what else is brown and muddy? You know what he says to me?
What?
He says, so's your wife. So I says, you got me there, you bastard. And while my wife may be brown and muddy, your field is made up of pure shite.
Field of shite. Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, looks like old Agat's been letting his cows and bulls run amok all over Robert's fields. They've been plopping out monuments to chewed grass everywhere.
So he was going to build a shit house out of shit?
Ha! I know. I mean, the place would smell like shite, but this place would actually smell like shite.
Leave the guy alone. Leave him to it. The bartender is a real beauty. Soft, pale skin, beautiful brown eyes, long, luscious hair, an ample bosom. Yep, a real beauty.
Oi, pal, put your eyes on something else. I'm no whore to be gulped at.
And spirit. You like that?
Welcome to the Jolly Roger Inn, home of ales and lager. Occasionally we get some whiskey in here. Nothing fancy, stranger.
Sounds fine to me.
Well, it better. You're out of luck if you're looking for anything better around here. We brew it downstairs. It's shite, but it does the trick. Made from the best water and grain. That's what they tell me. I'm no brewmaster or chemist for this matter. Not a bad place. Just good folks trying to get by. He's all right. Can be a right bastard. Don't like public drunkenness or fights. He can crack a skull or two. I'm a lonely bartender in a small town. Are you here to save me, eh? Ah, the lads are good guys, farmers they are. They drink their crops. He's a big bastard, ain't he?
Hey, I don't know you. You new in my tavern?
No, I've been here for weeks.
You got a problem, pal?
Nope.
I was just messing with you as well. How are you, friend?
I've been worse. I've been better.
Well said. Are you here for the execution?
No, I was just staying in town a few days before I move on.
Well, you're in for a treat. Rayford's executing a criminal in the public square.
Glad it's not me.
Aren't we all? Come on by afterwards. Let's have some more drinks and talk about things.
Hey, there's beer in my glass.
Is that a problem?
Yeah, 'cause it should be in my belly.
You are correct, sir. Drink up, eh?
He just kind of eyeballs you for a bit, and you decide he's not ready to converse. You think the bartender looks much more inviting. Everything is kept behind the bar, and Kit is keeping a close eye on everyone. You're not...
Here you go, mate.
You pay her, and 6 or 7 of these and you might get as giddy as a Lunarian whore. You have purchased a single ration. You give yourself the... He's not one to be trifled with, you can tell that. He just kind of eyeballs you for... It does... You can't rob these. There is a sign on the bank door that reads "Closed for execution." You try with all. This door is pretty solid, and you're quite sure it has an advanced lock on it. It is, of course, locked to keep the likes of. A blacksmith shop lays before you. As far as smithies go, this one looks awesome. Just kidding, it looks like a soot-covered dirt hole. But you're confident of two things. The owner reeks of sweat, and that his products are quality made. You don't see anyone around. It's a horse. It probably belongs to the blacksmith. The water doesn't look particularly fresh. In fact, you're pretty sure you saw one of the townspeople relieve himself into it earlier on. Looks like a lot of steel was beat on this. You also think it would be pretty funny to see something like this fall out of the sky and hit a coyote on the head. A blacksmith you don't see. You play around with it. Whatever it is you're trying to do doesn't seem to be working. You try with all your might, but you just can't seem to do anything with it. You don't need to do that. There is no need to do that right now. He's a tall, squirrely fella. You bet he's weird.
Hello, Mr. Squirrel.
Really? Mr. Squirrel? You're a weirdo.
Hey, you in the garden.
Who? Me?
No, the other fella in the garden. The one with the gnomish hat.
I don't see. You got me. Good fun. Good fun.
How's it going in there?
Not bad. Just trying to pick some herbs for some potions I'm making up later. People always start worrying about their health after an execution.
With good reason. Though I don't suppose you have a potion that reattaches a head in a day.
Oh my goodness. Don't be silly. Oh, that's funny. Oof. I am Jared Smyrna, pharmacist.
I'm Mr. Roem, professional raconteur.
Well, I'm pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Well, I've got to get finished up. Got to get to the execution soon.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, please, come by the shop sometime. There's lots of neat things in there. I bet they'd be of use to a man like you.
I'll do that. Farewell, sir.
Bye.
It does. Look at this place. Fancy, fancy. That roof must have cost the pharmacist a pretty penny for sure. He must sell a lot of potions. Look at this place. The squirrel is picking at the ground and eating what it finds. The door is locked. What? You'd knock on the door, but you really have no desire to be polite. You're in the southern part of town. There's a few houses and homes here. It's a well. Not much to see here, at least from up here. Sounds like a call to the execution. You'd probably better make your way back to town. This door leads into the magic shop. You start. You look into the crystal ball. You see a wimpy dude with black hair showing his arse cheek to some chick with blonde hair. You notice a dead dragon in the background and find the whole thing extremely odd. It's a pewter dragon. You doubt, though, that this guy bought this one at a tourist shop by the beach. It's a pewter dragon. You doubt, though, that this guy bought this one at a tourist shop by the beaches or in a comic store. Alas, poor Yorick, I didn't know him well. But I bet he was an arsehole because his damn skull is on this dude's shelf. You see a collection of tomes on the bookshelf. This man obviously likes his reading. Now, this really is your kind of place. Mysterious, abstruse, and very pentagramish. You reside in the local dealership of magic and conjuring. You can't fail to notice the thin, bearded stranger sitting across the way. You want a wicked scepter, wicked bad. It's a horn, and it's on fire. You could call it a torch, but it's a horn, and it's on fire. And it's the most awesome damn thing you ever see. Now, this really is your kind of place. Mysterious, abstruse, and very pentagramish. You reside in the local dealership of magic and conjuring. You can't fail to notice the thin, bearded stranger sitting across the way. You assume it goes to his living quarters, but you're not going back there without adult supervision. You see a tall, thin, bearded man behind the counter. Now, this really is your kind of place. Mysterious, abstruse, and very pentagramish. You reside in the local dealership of magic and conjuring. You can't fail to notice the thin, bearded stranger sitting across the way. Now, this... The sigil is probably his trademark logo or something. He seems to have a penchant for the star-shaped symbols. There's some kind of hanging herb. What kind of creepy magic shop would it be without them?
Bring in the prisoner! It is by the edict of the king and the laws of the land of the valley of Krasna in the kingdom of Lonaria that here in the town of Volksville, I, J.S. Rayford, am here to carry out the sentence in the matter of the people versus the criminal Marcus Van Houten, who has been proven guilty of theft and murder. Does the criminal have anything to say?
Let me head roll. I defended myself and stole to feed my own starving body. If this is life, then my head is better served up fresh on a pole for all you people.
Very well. Marcus Van Houten, you are sentenced to death by the automatic blade. May the next life be better than this.
As long as I don't have to look at your filthy face, Rayford, your conscience is almost as filthy as my...
Take his head, tar it, and put it on a pike outside town to warn others of our justice. His headless body to a crow's cage to be pecked clean. And thus it is for criminals here. I will not tolerate them in my jurisdiction. Do you understand? You are all witnesses here today.
Rayford would like to see you in his office.
Hello there. You're a visitor to our town, I take it?
Why, yes, I am. Just admiring the beauty of the area. The river is quite the sight.
Yes, it is, stranger. Yes, it is. Might I have the pleasure of your name?
Yes, my name is Mr. Rome. Mr. William Rome. Pleasure.
J.S. Rayford, Town Magister. Pleasure. Well, I have some matters to attend to. Please stop by my office later. I'd love to chat with you some more.
Sounds good. Good evening, lawman.
Good evening, Mr. Rome.
What an asshole. Well, since it looks like I'll be here a while, I should try to make a friend or something.
Well, all in black, crow on his shoulder. Either this guy's a bit shady or his girlfriend was just murdered by a gang of thugs.
Hello there.
What, mate? What can I do for you? The name's O'Burr. This is Costigan. Well, this is it. A sweet little town to call home. Well, the tavern is about as lively as we get around here. There's a farmer's market off in the corner of town. All kind of people hang out there. There's the regulars, but occasionally travels show up to showcase the little oddities and all that. Oh, Golf's a prat. If he ever pesters me, it's usually for a blight to get a sausage or something. I just hand him one to shut him up. He gives it out worse to others in town, though. Frankly, I think he's dumb enough to get himself hurt or killed soon enough. Nice to meet you, friend. Good luck in your travels.
You start.
Is there something I might help you with? Let me ask you, what do you know of magic?
Mostly disappearing rabbits, tricks with cards, and how to disarm a woman out of her virtue.
Ah, yes, most fine and excellent forms of entertainment. But no, those are not attributes of real magic. Oh yeah, magic is the essence of the soul, pulled forth from the ether and made physical and active by the sheer force of will. It comes from within us and within everything around us. I realize this sounds like a lot of philosophical nonsense, but it is an art. To wield it, one has to train the mind as well as the body, and you must learn to combine the spiritual with the physical.
Combining spiritual with physical. Buddy, that's what got me in trouble with the Baron's daughter in the last town I came from.
I'm not speaking of copulation, young man. To know spells, well, the incantation is only part of a larger process. Knowing the words to say aloud is one part. That physical act accesses the mental acuity, which allows you to tap into the metaphysical. But magic comes from combining the metaphysical with the physical. See, in order to cast, say, a flame projectile, you not only need to know the chant for the spell, but you'd have to have a physical vessel for it.
And what would that be?
It's these kinds of secrets that one learns when one becomes a user of magic. Would you be interested in becoming a user of magic? I thought you might. I could sense the power inside of you. When you become my student, I will teach you to bend the world to your will, and how to control the most incredible of forces.
I'm intrigued. Where do we begin?
Tonight. First, I need to test your mental acuity.
This isn't about to get weird, is it?
No. I'll merely lay down cards from my deck here. Each card has a mate, an exact match. All you need to do is select a card and then find its mate.
Sounds simple enough.
Yes, but you may only choose the wrong mate 3 times. On your third, the test is done, and you may walk out of here without my teachings.
I've had worse offers.
Let's proceed. The quest is the tower, and the tower is the quest. Do you pursue the man in black to its end? You do not seem to be focused, but it does not mean you're not ready. Come back another time, and we shall see.
Just talk to him.
Is there something I might help you with? I have many of the odd trinket for sale, to those who need them. For the common man, I can sell magic potions and elixirs that can perform a variety of tasks. We can talk more about them later.
Stop by anytime.
You can't go up these stairs into Prospero's personal quarters.
Is there something I might help you with? Would you be interested in becoming a user of magic? Let's try the cards again. Ah, the fool. There's one who endlessly follows, but is whom he follows worthy of following? The knight, shiny, proud, and true to his virtues, though his own virtue may not be the virtue of good as most see it. You do not seem to be focused.
Just talk to him.
Is there something I might... Would you be interested in becoming a user of magic? Let's try the cards again. With his will and the movements of his hands, he conquers worlds and discovers that knowledge is the ultimate power behind the throne. The Reaper sits on a throne, watching over everything we do. He breathes on your back and offers those leaving this plane more solace than others would. You do not seem to be...
Just talk to him.
Is there something I might help? Would you be interested in becoming a... Let's try the cards again. The quest is the tower, and the tower is the quest. Do you pursue the man in black to its end? The knight, shiny, proud, and true to his virtues. You do not seem to be focused, but it does not mean you're not ready. Come back another time, and we shall see.
Just talk to him.
Is there something I might help you? Would you be interested in... Let's try the cards again. The knight, shiny, proud, and true to his virtues.
Just talk to him.
Is there something... Would you be interested? Let's try the... The Reaper sits in the... You do not seem to...
You try... Whatever. Just talk.
Is there something... Would you be interested in becoming a... Let's try the... Ah, the f... The Reaper sits in the... The nature of... The quest is that you pursue the knight. With his will and the movements of his hands, he conquers worlds and discovers that knowledge is the ultimate power behind the throne. I felt you were sharp of mind, though to prove your worth, I need your assistance with a task. There is a beast that lives outside of town. I need you to not only defeat him, but to bring me his head. There's a part of his brain, the hypothalamus, that I need for a spell I shall teach you.
Great, kill the beast. Get head. I can do that.
She's hard to kill, so take this.
Anything else?
Yes, I need several drops of a dead man's blood. You'll need to put it in a non-metal container, for metal will spoil its composition.
Well, I'll try. I should be back soon.
Excellent. I will aid you in avoiding the 10 gates. Getting back in is your own affair.
Thanks. Anytime. Try looking for her in the forest, just beyond the fisherman's pond. She's been seen up in there recently.
I shall see you soon, magic user.
The water wheel is being spun by the water rushing down the stream.
The door is locked. Isn't this lovely? It's a lovely little place with canoes and an old shed, but there's a giant hole in the footbridge across the water.
Well, I sure as hell ain't fixing it. Not my job.
This old shack has the distinct smell of dead fish about it. Glancing inside it, you can see various fishing items and a large canoe with a hole in the bottom. Wooden tools, and you also see, and upon close... Canoes don't talk. Two canoes are sitting on the bank of the rapidly flowing river, upside down to drain any excess water from them. The path north... There's a big damn hole in this bridge. You're not getting across until someone fixes it. You have no reason to take the canoes. What was... You followed the path outside the wall of town and discovered that the stream empties into a small pond. You bend down and pick up the fish. This is cloth armor. In reality, though, it's just clothing, so it doesn't stop any damage getting through. You've got your cloth armor. You are carrying some food rations which are useful. You are carrying some food rations which are useful for staying alive. They're made out of dried fruit and nuts, smoked meats and other assorted goodies. There are some fish drying from a line strung between two poles. Suddenly, the oddest and largest beast crashes out of the forest. You don't know what the hell it is, but you prepare for battle. Nice work! That bastard is dead. It's the beast that you killed. The beast is carrying nothing. Well, he was wearing some armor, apparently not enough. Crikey, his damn head fell right off into the stump. Got to admit, that was equal parts cool and gross, as there were still a few rotting tendons holding it on. You peer inside and notice an old steel helmet, complete with horns. It's too bad this guy died because he might have been a badass. You take the helm, figuring you could use it better. You need to equip braces in this slot. You cannot combine those. This helmet is awesome and horny. You need to equip armor in this slot. You need to You need to select an item to place into this slot. This helmet is awesome and horny. You play around with it, but nothing seems to... You take the stick. You'd love to wear... You cannot combine... That was a slightly stupid move. You pissed off those bees by poking your stick right into their hive. How's that? There's a bee stuck in your cloak. You carefully take it and put it within a fold of your backpack, keeping it alive, but unable to escape. This area of the forest is being harvested. You attempt to pull the axe out of the stump. You just can't seem to pull it out. You try with all your might, but you just can't seem to do anything with it. This area of the forest is... You play around. F. Acre Farms. You assume there's a farm around here somewhere? That doesn't seem... Well, this is just a lovely old farm, set upon the rolling hills outside of Volksville. You can only assume that this is where those three drunks from the pub work when they're occasionally sober. A barn sits near the north of the fields. You start to talk. It's the sort of sack farmer. You take the empty feed sack from the floor of the barn. Hopefully you'll find a use for it. Otherwise you're just a dude carrying a sack. It's an empty feed sack. You see a saw slinged up against the stall. You pick up the saw and take it with you. Searching amongst the tools, you find a bridle. You take it with you. A bridle is a piece of equipment used to direct a horse, and this one includes both a headstall that holds the bit that goes in the mouth of a horse and the reins that are attached to the bit. You learn something new every day. You take a small handful of hay from the pile. Who doesn't need some hay once in a while? You've already got some hay. It's way too heavy to carry.
Jeez, I'm sick of looking at all you losers. Too many men, not enough lady folk.
Yeah, we'll go up to tier and get ochre then.
You paying?
Oh no! You think I got the price for that kind of entertainment? If I did, I wouldn't be here with you.
You've entered the Southwoods. Large boulders block your way to the east and south. The trees and vegetation is turning more colourful and dense the further south you get.
Shut your mouth and get the hell out of here. We don't need you scaring away the animals.
You have no desire to climb up there.
shut your mouth and get the hell out of here.
The door of this outdoor latrine is dubious at best. Well, you peer inside. No, just no. Can't. No. You should never, ever, ever, ever open it again. It was locked for a reason, and you believe that reason to be some extremely rotten curry. You try to open the door, but you realize it's been rusted shut for years. You peer in the crack and can see nothing but a bunch of rubble anyway. You can't use that on the door. Whatever you're... You could continue walking this way through the mountains for weeks, just to say hi to the Baron and his sons, who I'm sure would be happy to let you reside in their dungeons for eternity. You attempt to climb the tree, you don't get far, but you try with... It doesn't... Hey! You look for some solid hand grips and footing and scale... You climb over the wall and make your way up to the pub here. As you begin to speak, the door is locked. You can't rob.
Nice night, eh?
Yes, it is. Clear night. Always is after a man's been executed.
Nasty business.
It certainly is. How can I help you? Edward Smith. Smith by name, Smith by trade. Feel free to call me Smith. The fires of my forge have burned for many years. It's been my family's trade for ages. The fire is part of my family. It never extinguishes. This fire, to my knowledge, has burned since my father's 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 father started it. I love my home. It's been the seat of my family for generations. He keeps the peace. Sometimes I wonder at what cost, but I do believe he means well. I make weapons when I must. I do not lie or boast when I claim them to be the best. If I make an instrument that must take a man's life, I would have that man be slain with a weapon of purity and strength, so that he is sent to meet the Maker with honor. We tend to it every day. My father tended to it for his father, I tended it for mine, and my boy tends to the fire for me. He makes sure it is fueled and fostered every day.
You sneak up to the horse and untie the rope. Too bad the blacksmith could see you. You now know better to try something devious in full view of everyone. You should...
What are you doing?
Nothing.
We'll see what Rayford has to say about it.
This log cabin is sturdy and well constructed. There is a front... All in all, it looks quite inviting. There's even a little doormat that welcomes guests. You consider that this would be a very nice place to settle down.
Ha! Too many riches to be made before I settle down, and it won't be in a cottage like this.
I love it when you talk to me. I do get lonely out here. There is nothing on the cabin.
The door is locked.
After walking through the forest a bit, you come upon what appears to be the main entrance and foyer of a long abandoned and burnt down mansion. The place must have been massive. You see it stretch out to both the west and east. To the east, you note there being the ruins of what must once have been a beautiful garden. This must have been someone's pride and joy once. A large hand-carved fountain and reflecting pool is now filled with green, scummy water and overgrown aquatic plants. To the north, you see a path and a cemetery beyond. There's no way in hell you're going to drink any of You could feel something was amiss when you got here. You prepare for...
Damn it.
You are rendered unconscious and gravely injured. You feel cold, blackness. You wake up sometime later, lucky to be alive. You give yourself the... You try with all your might. What a pleasant ruin of being. There's something... You rub your hands all over yourself like a showgirl. You think about an alternative career, should the need arise. Standing in this corner of the woods are the remains of what was once a magnificent old house. Whoever lived here was obviously very well off. This place is massive. Little remains of the house now. You pause to consider what could have caused such devastation. Then you wonder if that sort of power is still around for the taking. Standing in little thing. Standing little thing.
Whatever it is you're trying to do doesn't seem to.
These skeletons are like normal living people, except without. You could feel something.
Down. Down. Down.
Well done! You've defeated yet another foe, solidifying your position as a total badass. Searching the corpse reveals some supplies, which you pocket. You've already looted the corpse. This helmet is awesome and if you want to fight him, use your sword. You could feel something was amiss when you got here.
Down. Down.
That's how it's done. Searching the corpse reveals some. This old door looks sturdy. This graveyard. You could feel something was amiss when you got here. You prepare for combat.
Damn it. Damn it.
You are rendered unconscious and gravely injured. You feel cold, blackness, nothing. You wake up sometime later, lucky to be alive. At first glance, it looks just like an ordinary stone door, but when you really gaze at it, there seems to be something different about it. Looking closer, you see a shallow indentation on the door in the shape of a shield. Try as you might, this door will not open.
You play around with it.
This really is a massive graveyard.
You start.
You could feel something was amiss when you got here.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
Damn it. Damn it.
You are rendered unconscious and gravely injured. You feel cold, blackness, nothing. You wake up sometime later, lucky to be alive. You have a giant headache. Because in no way is this abandoned house inside the graveyard creepy, you open the door and enter. The smell of musty cobwebs and mold hits you right in the face as you enter the old mansion. You see that it's quite dilapidated. You also see the door to the chapel past the broken stairs. You don't know why, but you decide to do this. You don't know why, but you decide to do this. This is a beautiful carved wooden pulpit. It looks to be in remarkable shape considering how everything else looks in this place. You're inside a whatever. You could feel.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
You are rendered unconscious. You wake up. You could feel something.
Damn it.
Nice work. Searching the corpse. You.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
You are rendered unconscious. You wake. You could feel.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
That's how it's... Searching the corpse. Leave the true...
What happened? You have...
You could feel some... You are rendered unawake. You rub your... You don't know what...
You have... Whatever...
Even in a
You play around. You try with all... What happened?
You could feel...
Damn it. Damn it.
You are ready. You could feel... That was a searching the... You could...
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
You wait. You look for some solid hand grips and footing. You climb up. Leave him to his ale.
He's all right. Can be a right bastard. Don't like... I'm a lonely... Ah, the lads are good guys. Farmers they are. They drink their crops. He's a big bastard, ain't he? Goodbye.
You have no... As you begin...
Nice night, eh?
Yes, it
Nasty
is. Edwards. Edwards. The fires of my... The fires... This fire. We tend to... The fires of my... The fires... This fire. I love my... I love my... He keeps the peace. I make weapons. If I make... I love my home.
The door is locked. The door is locked. You assume the owner is away or inside doing something naughty that he doesn't want to share with the general public.
You...
Hello there.
What, mate? Nice to meet
You'd knock...
You have no reason to talk to Prospero. You need to bring him back the beast's head and the blood of a man. Just talk to him. You have no...
Whatever... The door is...
There's a sign.
The door is locked. You play.
Hello there.
What, mate? The name's O'Bur. Well, this is... Well, the tavern is about as... There's the break. Oh, Gorf's... Frankly... Nice to meet...
Just as you... The door is... You play.
Hey there!
Whoa there!
Sorry, I know that I'm shouting. I lost control of my voice in a freak accident.
That's unfortunate.
Well,
good call.
I agree. Well,
You have nothing.
There's no reason.
Kill. You splash your hand in the water.